And I think that's a really good place to move into what we're doing today.
Yes.
Um, I'll do the words first because they're there and they are, prominent. Um, right out of there it is, Moonology. Um, the words for the for July, for the whole month, are count my blessings, relax, enjoy life. Oh, I like that one. And then for the new moon in Cancer coming up soon, very soon, I'm seeing it getting a little darker during the nighttime now.
Mhm.
Love again, heal the past, set boundaries, truly relate.
Mm.
So it's going to be kind of mixed.
Yeah.
And it really works out well into where I'm at, I think where you're at, where I think a lot of people are at right now, and all of the natural world is at right now. All of us are ascending. All of us are our inner selves are ascending from the old to the new. And whether we call it up and down, sideways, or whether we just call it, it's changing. It doesn't matter. It is happening.
Mhm.
And as that happens to our inner selves, our outer bodies change physically and have been changing for some time. For me, after this massive experience that I had just a couple of weeks ago with the airplane and turbulence and timeline jumping, it's not a surprise to me that my body is now going through ascension symptoms also. I'm getting all kinds of interesting things like random aches that have no basis. Yesterday, I could have gone to sleep at 2 p.m. in the afternoon and slept until 5 o'clock this morning.
Wow.
I didn't quite. I woke up at about 4:30, had a little bite to eat, and went back to bed. This is really unusual, but this is also something that can be an ascension sign that your body is
Mm.
adjusting, it's evolving, it's changing, doing what it needs to, so that it can handle all of the energies, the new energies that are coming in. I've been drinking about a gallon of water a day. Oh yeah. and,
Right.
and really kind of strong on the electrolytes. Let's do some natural, wild, organic, local honey, and a little bit of Himalayan pink salt in there, and
Mhm.
make sure that we're getting all the electrolytes we need.
Mhm.
And then it's. I've done this before. I think a lot of us, maybe most of us, have done this before. Whatever is going to work for you, and speak with your body, talk to your body, listen to your body. What does it need now? Does it need a little extra self-care? Does it need more electrolytes? What does it need? Maybe it needs a nice warm bath. Maybe it needs a little walk in nature. Whatever it needs, that's what your body needs to be able to make the physical cellular level changes that are happening.
Mhm.
And understand there's nothing wrong with you. You're simply adjusting. Your body is moving to a different form, if you will. I'm not going to say we're going to look like frogs or anything like that,
Mhm.
but we are definitely on a cellular level changing, and it needs your body, your cells need that support.
Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. The last few days have been, I have consumed more fluids than I ever, usually need. I can't get enough water. And I, use all the natural electrolytes and stuff like that. And I even went so far as to dig into the back of the cupboard and found a bottle of like a Gatorade or something from when one of us was sick, maybe last year, and replenished them, tried to take a sip and stuff, and that still didn't really feel like it did anything for me. Too much sugar, I'm sure, but it was one of those days where I was like, what is happening right now? And you can forget in the moment when you're experiencing these body messages that you can pause and go, oh, okay. I have no idea what this is about, but here we are. you know, so, and it's good. It's powerful stuff.
It is. And
Mm,
main thing is we're all going through it.
mm,
You're not alone. There is nothing wrong with you.
yeah,
This is a natural process we're all
yeah,
going through.
yeah. That's neat. And it, I had a conversation with a friend this morning, and she's in her elder years. Um, she has grandchildren that know technology, and she is not interested in technology, but they kind of get frustrated sometimes with her, and she gets frustrated with them. And we were talking about um, whether or not she should have, kept up. And change was the biggest point of our conversation. We're always changing, you know. The younger generations are going to see technology as the way to change, in the physical perhaps, and to keep up with things and be able to do schoolwork and all that kind of stuff. I get it. I 100% get it. And we also have to remember that the older generations that didn't have technology are still changing. We're still, right?
And
Allowing that.
if I might add, those older generations, that would be me, uh,
You're still young.
we had technology changes too. I mean, if you look at the last 100, years, maybe 150 years, the technology changes have been constant. And I'm pretty sure your friend is not older than that. And
Yeah.
so, yes, I remember all of the things, the dial telephone with a line, and you can only go this far.
Yep.
And, if for us, we had a party line. If the other person was talking, you couldn't access that technology.
Yep.
I also remember, black and white TV and three channels, it's, and if the other lady is wanting to fight this change in technology. Well, she's been doing it all her life. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
It's very
the
true.
people before us didn't even have that much,
Yeah.
and all of these things came about, and yeah, radio.
Yes, I know. Yeah, she's beautifully in her mid 80s, and she just has uh, a wealth isn't even the proper terminology, just the knowledge she carries just by having been here longer than me. I just Oh, I love it. I treasure, and when it's your own family, you don't see it as much. And when you're a teenager, you're definitely not thinking about anything, past here. Very much. Some do, and a lot of us don't. And then we will get there. And that's part of, like you said, our own personal change and our own evolution and all of that stuff. But you're right, technology, I guess, as a broad definition, has been happening, yeah, for a century or more.
Oh, and I know of people personally. I've got one who started his technological career at 73.
Nice.
That doesn't mean he didn't know about technology and wasn't using it before, but that's when his career for in a technological world took off.
Mm-hmm.
73.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of people out there who are. I was just reading recently that some of you may remember this name, Ringo Starr, who is one of the Beatles, who
Yeah.
is 80 something and still producing music,
Yeah.
no longer in records like he once did, but he's still producing music. And there is this, there is not even a dichotomy. There's these different parts that can all come together and work together.
Yeah.
almost like a wheel turning and with different spokes in it. The spokes may not be made exactly the same, but they all support each other and they
Yeah.
can support each other. It's a choice that we all make. If we choose, I don't want to be around technology, and I understand that. I
Mm.
do. I
Yeah.
try to limit my social media as much as possible. It's not good for my brain and for my energy.
Right.
At the same point in time, I do use technology as a tool so that I can do what I do.
Yeah.
And that's the different spokes of the wheel
Yeah.
turning together and the choices being made. And I'm not saying there's a right way or a wrong way for anybody. Everybody makes their own choices.
Mm.
They have to go with whatever is within their purpose of being here. And that's fine. I mean, we all have our own wisdom. Even young Sky has his amazing wisdom, as
Yeah.
well as the lady who's in her 80s.
Yeah.
We all have our own wisdom. We all have our own purpose for being
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
And we all have our way of getting to know that purpose and how to bring that to the world.
Love it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And being able to be here together is precious, right? And
Especially at this time. Yes.
yeah. Yes. And being conscious about it all, because many of us are in countries or societies or communities that can hold us and provide for us. So we're not doing that whole survival dance, even though there's a lot of us that still do. But we have the capacity, we have the privilege to go, wow, I'm going to serve, or I'm going to, you know, be grateful for the resources I do have at hand and do something that gives back, or listen to someone with a like full on attention, or those things that really are a privilege for us now, you know yeah.
As well as at the same point in time, understanding that what is now is not going to be, that especially Sky's generation and my granddaughters, both of them, they are going to be remaking the world, and you know,
Yeah.
understanding that the world as it was, as much wisdom as we can gain from that and keep from that, there's also things that need to be let go so that the new can be built upon what for lack of a better way of putting it, the debris from the past.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and this brings my brain back to the words that you shared out of Yasmin's journal there about how, you know, relaxing and enjoying the moment, and also the beginning with the full moon. Is it the full moon in Cancer, you said?
It's the new moon.
New moon. Yeah, sorry, thank you. Around like letting go of the past and doing that work as well. And these are things that come together, right? When we can honor and heal, if you will, or have a different understanding of things that have happened to us in the past and get a different way of being with them, then we can be more relaxed and we can be in the moment and enjoy that more for the now, so that that rebuild of self can take place and that future self can really be who they need to be.
And I get it. I really do get it. I mean, shadow work
Yeah.
is the most important work any of us can do. It's also the toughest. I get it.
Oh yeah.
But it's also worth what comes afterward. You
Yeah.
know, once you've done the shadow work, or as you're working through the shadow work and you're seeing all the magnificent changes,
Mm-hmm.
it's so worthwhile,
Yeah.
even as it is it's I can't sugarcoat it at all. It's the toughest work you'll ever do.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Looking inward and to the self is not for the faint of heart. Doing that work and unraveling how others' voices, others' decisions, events have been imprinted on us, and how we've carried things of other people's or allowed ourselves to take that on from somebody else. And then there's forgiveness that needs to be there for self and other. There's grief, there's potential loss, there's joy. And speaking from a personal point of view, but also the professional that helps people on these journeys, just like you do, Lay, there's freedom.
Amazing freedom.
Unbelievable freedom. To the point of I've seen a number of people weep while on the floor after getting through something that they never thought that they would ever have a release from, and have an understanding of a different perspective or a shift. And it's pardon my language, but really shitty stuff to have to go through again. And I understand that the new modalities are trying to go from this point forward. I often see the people that have tried that and they know that they have to go backwards in order to actually get to the future, if you want to put it that way.
No doubt, perfectly said. And yes, I see it all the time.
Yeah.
And nothing makes me feel more like I've done I've been of service than to have someone just bursting into tears and crying it out. And yes, they frequently have been through just I would say unimaginable, but it's not, because I've been there. Just extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
And there's no why would they hide this? Yeah, I understand. I mean, why would anybody want to see that? But in order to get past it, we
Mm-hmm.
have to see it so that we can unbuild it.
Yeah.
However we built our mechanisms,
Mm.
we
Yeah.
have to unbuild them so
Yes.
that we can get to that whatever glorious place is beyond for us. And we all make our own vision of this.
Yes.
But that's what's necessary. And to
Mm.
see them in these tears and crying out of first of all, it's pain and suffering, but then it's the joy of seeing this on the other side. And it's just amazing. It's wonderful. I know I keep using that word, but to me, these times are just fantastic. Uh,
Yeah.
I love watching all of us go through the changes. I love watching the world evolve and change, because it's so fantastic on the other side. It's so freeing, and it's so joyful, blissful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's something that we don't need to pressure ourselves into, because we're going to know when the time is right with whatever it is that's at the forefront of what we think we're carrying. And that's not fitting anymore, right? And it can be tough. It can be tough because you may not know that you have the support from the community that you know you have around you in the moment. And things will change because you will change when you do the work.
And I want to stress, yes, you can do this alone. I do not advise this. I've
Yeah.
done this. It is extremely painful, difficult, and a whole lot more work than it needs to be.
Yeah.
If you are to the point where you realize that you're at that point where you need to do something,
Mm-hmm.
ask for help.
Yeah.
It's so much easier so much, uh, just to have someone there to be beside you, to metaphorically hold your hand,
Yep.
or to even help open the doors or the windows so that you can see out and figure out how to get forward. It's so much easier, so much more, so much faster. And
Mm-hmm.
especially in this time, we don't have 30 years to meditate. We don't have all of that time. And there's so many people around who will help. And if you're in that point, your energy will guide you to whomever it is that can help you best.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your inner self and ask for help.
Yes, beautifully said. The word share keeps coming into my mind. What's that saying where many hands make light work or something like that? And it's true, but you just need that one other person. You need one other being to share the things that that you may have thought shouldn't be shared because they're just too much, or you've been told that you're too much when you talk about it, or no one wants to hear that, or anything like that. But those of us who've done our own work and we're in the work line of work that we are, or the professions that we are and stuff like that, that's why we're here. We have lived experience of tough stuff, and we want to hold those people who see us as support.
There's an airplane flying over my house right now at low, low altitude.
Just saying hi. It's all good. So, anyway, yeah, change and being and flow.
Flow, allowing what is to be, and especially with you. And then once you've allowed it, do you need to make some changes to make sure that the future is allowing different, or new, whatever you want to say in there. But it is necessary to allow first what is,
Mm-hmm.
and then re-see it. You've got to see it first, and then you re-see it. And that also is so important.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's pretty well sums up everything that's going on right now.
Yeah, most definitely. So, yeah, we're here for anyone who's listening or watching and needs to reach out. Yeah, we're here. Comments or otherwise, and yeah.
Yes, you are not alone. We're all in this together.
Yeah. Share the struggles, share the peace.
No one gets across the finish line until everyone gets across the finish line.
Exactly. Beautiful. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.